Hey everybody, welcome to AJS News, the first of two videos we got for you today.
But first, a word from our sponsors.
Guys, it's the easiest promo I have. It is Rocket Money, once again, keeping you up to date on your finances. As I've got 9 reoccurring charges coming up for a few $100s. There I can see my Xbox Game Pass, some Uber charges, Microsoft 365, and I get notifications anytime these charges go up.
Yeah, everything is going up right now, all of my subscriptions, so it's really nice to know because some things are not quite worth it like they used to be, and so when I get these messages, I can do something about it.
Yeah, get yourself organized and set yourself a little budget.
That's one of my favorite features, setting yourself a budget, watch your money grow. We love the app. It keeps us organized. We want to save you money, guys. So check it out at rocketmoney.com/angryjoeshow. It's free to download, so there's no reason not to try it. If you do like it, there are some premium features, or just stay at the free. It is one of the best apps that I use every day. Saves you money, guys. Thank you so much for listening, and I hope you enjoyed the review. Check it out.
Guys, we're going to talk about some stuff. It is so important to take care of your finances. Check out Rocket Money. It's a free app.
Cost of everything's going up,
And
you save.
you should know about it because you may not know that some of your recurring stuff are
My Amazon went up $5.
Yeah.
Why?
I don't know. Let's talk to them.
It's free. No reason not to, guys. AJS News. Let's see. We're still playing through Expedition 33. So kind of come to Twitch. I'm hoping to do a review on that. We got Doom releasing this week.
3 days.
Doom: The Dark Ages, which we'll be playing as well. So stay tuned for that. I want to say congratulations to the boys. They raised over $5,000 for charity. Lupus Foundation. Ate a lot of gross stuff. Joe, what'd you eat? What'd they make you eat?
Pig's feet.
Pickled pig's feet and
Hairy pig's feet.
oh, there was a
was
lot
so
of hair.
gross.
And bugs in a bottle? Why are you eating bugs in a bottle?
It was silkworm vodka. You've never had it? It's
Silkworm.
a delicacy. OJ
The
loved it.
worm was the worst
I think Joe
part.
does like those pupas.
No,
I was
I do
watching,
not.
and you were drinking a lot of them pupas.
He's kept rolling poorly.
Yeah, so that
OJ
was a
cried.
successful event. I want to thank all of you in the community who showed up and donated and supported to a good cause. That was awesome, guys. Okay, so what the heck has been going on in gaming news, Alex?
AJS News favorite guy, Randy Pitchford, is back in the news talking about his new game coming out, Borderlands 4, and he's joking that he doesn't even know what Borderlands 4 is going to cost. You know what that means, though?
He's not joking.
Because if he doesn't know what it is, it's not $70. It could be, but they're thinking about raising the price of Borderlands 4.
He's seeing what the market is now.
Yeah.
I hate it.
Yeah. So, I mean, it is 2K. They got bought by 2K. 2K wants to make a bunch of money off of them. 2K is not the company that gives a fuck about you as consumers other than like what's in your wallet and goes into their wallet. So, I'm guessing 80. What do you guys think?
80
yeah,
for sure.
$80?
yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's like you had said before, if this was going to be, they're testing the waters, and it feels like if they got enough pushback that they might be like, okay, no, but any company is going to push the envelope as far as they possibly can, and then a little bit more.
Yeah.
Because they could always walk it back after a while, but not on prices. So
Well,
that's why they'll probably do 80 up front.
Yeah. And then, so, I mean, the price of games makes so much more of a difference to the people who make games than the consumers, right? Because if they sell a game for $70, they're going to claim it cost them $50. So for a consumer, it's like, for us, it's only like $10 more. But for them, they're like, hey, I get to make like 40% more profit if I raise it by $10 because we get so much further away. And so that's what 2K does. So that's what I'm expecting. He also went out and said that there's some people like, hey, man, we don't exactly love the UI. And he's like, look, don't criticize it until you play it. And it's like, well, sometimes we can look at a game and see that it's going to be kind of poopy, like Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League, and everyone's like, hey, we don't want Concord or these other ones. So it's like, we'll see. But I think that consumers are a little bit more savvy than he may be giving him credit for. So,
Holding off on
apparently-
that as well.
Apparently, the gameplay trailer is awesome. We still haven't seen it yet, but you have, I think, and you were convinced that it's looking a little better than our initial impressions.
$80 good?
No. Well, my excitement level was like at the floor, right? After the movie and Borderlands 3, which I didn't think was very good. And then so I went from like no excitement at all to, hey, this actually could be something that we enjoy playing together because co-op makes games significantly more fun.
Yes.
So. All right, Sony has established a new studio called Team LFG to work on an ambitious incubation project. This was originally at Bungie, and so they're bringing developers all across the industry. They haven't said what it's going to be, but I'm guessing live service game because that's all Sony wants to do now.
They had like, 15 live service games on their docket or something like that, and so far we've only seen like 2 or 3.
A great idea for them. Live service game, and it's going to be $50.
Hero shooter?
Yep.
Yeah.
$50 at launch, live service. Let's go.
Filled with microtransactions. Yep, that's Sony. Yeah.
Yeah.
Only 50 though? It's a premium product, Joe.
50 is a really weird amount, Joe. If you know the industry, it'd be either 40, it'd be 60,
They're
or it'd be
testing the
free.
market.
But Joe's going
We
with
said
50.
40 already.
I'm doing 50.
It's like if they're going
$10
$80
more,
Yes.
then we're going $10
Exactly.
more. Okay, got it.
Yeah.
Which has me concerned for Arc Raiders because I actually, played the beta for Arc Raiders.
It's pretty fun, yeah.
Put a video out for it, and I liked it, and it's pretty fun. But I think it will also be that pay money up front to play what feels like an extraction shooter that should be free to play. And I believe it'll probably be $40
to
bucks
win,
up
maybe?
front. A little bit. It's there's box. It's pay to start quicker. Is kind of what it is. But to me, that still falls under the umbrella of pay to win, just a little corner of the pay to win that's not as egregious because it's like little boxes that give you some weapons and some armor that you can find out in the world, but you're going to start with it. So if you drop near somebody and you encounter somebody, it's an advantage, right? But people were screaming and yelling at me, and they're just like, that's not pay to win. You know what? Fuck off. It's pay to win. Fuck off.
Yeah, if you put in roadblocks into the game by making players start slower, and then you add in fast lanes so you can start faster, it's pay to win.
Yeah, and that's and I think it was under a battle pass. So, and hopefully the battle passes aren't paid battle passes because if you have a $40 game and then you have battle passes on top of that, and inside the battle passes are the storage boxes or the loot boxes, not loot boxes, but what do you call it?
Safe boxes?
Weapon boxes, not safe boxes, but weapon boxes.
Okay.
Supply boxes, actually.
It gives you a slight advance.
That's a slight advance. That's pay to win. Shut the fuck up and just deal with it. I think it's a fun game. I'm gonna play it at release. I'll let you know whether it's worth it. Because sometimes, you know how when you play a free to play game, I'm like, this is really good. Like Marvel Rivals, and I've dropped probably maybe $30 so far in Marvel Rivals, and I felt fine. I felt good. I've gotten what I needed out of it. So I guess some games are like, yeah, well, our game is so good that we'll just ask for that up front. We're going to have to see.
Yeah. So what they've said is the studio's first project is a team-based action game that draws inspiration from, and then they listed every game type possible. And then players will inhabit a lighthearted, comedic world set in a brand new mythic science fantasy universe.
Oh, no. It sounds like it's going to be so cringe.
That's exactly what fucking Concord was.
Yeah.
All the footage, and then they're going to use the footage.
The sweet spot for getting something like that right is so narrow. There's like you're throwing darts from across the room, and maybe they can hit it, but shit. Okay, comedic, over the top,
lighthearted comedic world, and it's science fantasy universe.
Science fantasy.
So all the assets that they didn't use for Concord, they're going to kind of mess with it.
Yeah. They put mustaches on the
Hey,
characters.
wait a minute.
No, it's not me. It's like, I could have sworn it was
And
me.
fantasies, they give them shields and swords instead of guns.
Yeah, and so
That's only getting their $200 million worth.
That's yeah.
They announced 12 live service games in 2022,
It was
but they're
12.
Yeah, and then they're just scaling all back and they're closing these studios, and I don't know why they're forming a new studio to keep this one going, but I don't know.
It's a bad decision.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. All right, let's talk about Palworld. Palworld devs have announced that they're going to patch out some stuff in the game to appease Nintendo. They got sued famously because everyone was like, hey, this is similar to Pokemon. A lot of the things that they had in there, people were like, hey, you can't do that. Well, actually, you can. But there were some small things. And so they said mechanics adjustment. The mechanics for gliding with a PAL have been changed. Until now, you could use certain PALs as a glider. However, from this patch, you'll only be able to glide by using a glider. And so Nintendo was like that.
What? Just because Nintendo has Pokemon gliders, they can't glide. Fuck
Well,
Nintendo,
how do they get
man.
around that though? Like, what
Like using creatures as a gliding device is going to be in other games. Is Nintendo going to start coming after
Never
other?
any story, Falcor. Come
Well,
on.
that's
You're not gliding on. You're
That's
riding
flying.
Faltor.
Okay,
Yeah.
well, how about they just do like, oh, we're flying.
I
Kind
just
of
wish other
Slippery.
game developers went after not Nintendo, but the Pokemon company for the shit that they've copied.
Yeah, that's right.
it's
There
like-
was that one chart that showed that Pokemon had copied a lot of stuff
Dragon
as well.
Quest,
But it's
yeah.
when you're big and you're in the top, you intimidate people. And
That's the
then
thing. They have the
your
money.
thing is intimidating others because that's what gives the lawyers the fuel and ammunition to not only justify their jobs but to defend the copyright.
Yeah, so there was patents that asserted there was a series of mechanics related to catching and riding Pokemon as implemented in 2022's Pokemon Legends. So they have to distance
Catching
themselves.
and riding creatures. Because remember, they can say Pokemon all they want, but this is... So Nintendo has the exclusive rights to catch and ride creatures.
Fly.
Fuck
now.
off.
Yeah.
No, they're just picking on Palworld, obviously, because Palworld is very close to Pokemon, and they do the
And
same
they made
sort
a lot of money.
Well, you throw
creature
the book at
collection.
the first person that does something like this to
Right.
to stop other people from doing it, but
And their lawyers would argue, if we don't do this, then we are kind of, what do they call it, being too relaxed with their IP, which will mean other companies will start popping up. So this is more like setting an example in this town square. You want to
Bite the curb.
Who else wants to make this game, huh? Anybody else want to make a Pokemon game? That what Nintendo's doing.
please make sure that you're putting up all of the pictures of the things that Pokemon has stolen over the last 20 years from other games.
You got to give them a link.
Oh, I've sent them to a bunch of times. I'll resend them because it's like,
Yeah.
hey, you're copying a bunch of other
But
games,
they have
assholes.
money now, so
yeah.
they
yeah.
they win.
Yeah. All right, Mafia, The Old Country got an August release date.
Release
and
date trailer people had mentioned. Ah, fuck, we missed that one. So there's two trailers that we'd missed. There's Peacemaker trailer out, and there's the Mafia trailer that's out. We could probably do a
Mafia one's pretty short.
reaction to this.
Yeah,
today, maybe.
and they're trying to show off the gameplay, and a lot of the the gameplay is rough. But you don't play Mafia to have Doom shooting mechanics. You play it because the stories are usually really fun, and you can and you build your own like stories within those worlds.
Yeah.
And for that, it looks pretty great. And so they've announced an August release date and a $50 price tag. And so that's something that's very exciting
wow.
in the days.
Interesting.
Like you.
Shorter game.
There's your
There's your $50.
$50 thing.
Wait, I'm suspicious now. What's going on
It's
here?
the $40 price to 10.
Yeah.
And then
I've
now
been
I'm
saying it.
suspicious.
I've been
I'm
saying it.
suspicious. Is
It's
this
a
game
short
going to be
game?
shorter
Yeah.
or is it going to be crappier without quite as much of a budget? So when a game company is trying to be friendly to us, we're all like, wait a minute.
Yeah, $30 game.
What is wrong with
Can
you?
I put horses' heads on people's beds?
I'm sure. I'm sure.
That's what I want to do.
Well,
I wanna
OJ,
send a message.
this is for you. Picture this: Sicily,
Yes!
1920.
Yes!
Because that's and so.
I love it.
Yeah, as Sophia is should be everyone's favorite, unless you're weird and horny for old women like OJ. That is what we're going to be doing in Sicily. Can't wait to see. So it's Golden Girls. She used to say.
I love it.
all the time, yeah.
No, Joe. Final Destination is this week. Mission Impossible Final Reckoning is next week.
Oh,
We'll see that one too.
We'll see Final Destination and Mission Impossible have reviews for it.
final.
In fact, me, Joe, and our community manager, Dr. Evil, saw a clown in a cornfield, so maybe we could quickly do a review for that. Quick one. What'd you say, Alex?
No, we're ready for the next one. PC,
Yep.
PC we've announced that Nintendo says it has the right to brick your Switch if it thinks you're pirating
What?
games or modifying the console.
Brick your Switch.
Give us $800 and then
I'ma
we're
brick
gonna
your
brick
shit.
it.
Permanently unusable.
Wow.
If it determines you're in
Fuck
violation of the
that.
agreement.
Wow. If you pirate Nintendo games,
Which a lot of people do.
sometimes, might be appropriate in certain situations, perhaps
yourself a Steam
allegedly.
Deck.
I can't close one eye.
Steam Deck. I'll hold the other one open.
Yeah. No,
But now they're going to fucking brick your entire console. If
What?
this actually happens to anybody, they better make a YouTube video and talk about it, because I'm going to retweet that shit. Because they can threaten that, but it may not ever happen. But if that shit happens, no, fucking Nintendo.
The new user agreement says you acknowledge that if you fail to comply with foregoing restrictions, Nintendo may render the Nintendo account services and or the device permanently unusable in whole or in part.
There goes
That first part,
$800.
that first part, fine. They get you cheating. You've made an online agreement or whatever, and you click the accept button. But I'm sure they say, well, you click the accept button when you started the whole console up. So this console's ours. No. Because when I pay $800, that is mine.
No.
Not yours. I'm not renting $800. You're not renting $800 from me. Are you going to give me the $800 back? If you are, okay.
You don't own the hardware. You don't own the software.
$500, $900.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And so they say that you can't publish copy.
By the time we get the camera and the games
not
and the
getting a
controllers and the things. No, Nintendo wants you to get that camera that runs 5 frames per second. Yeah.
5 seconds per frame.
5 frames per second.
Yeah, publish, copy, modify, reverse engineer, lease, rent, decompile, disassemble, distribute, offer for sale, or create derivative works of any portion of the Nintendo account services, bypass, modify, decrypt, defeat, tamper with, or otherwise circumvent any of the functions or protections of that, obtain, install, or use any unauthorized copies of Nintendo account services. And there's a bunch of stuff in here. And so, fortunately, there are people out there that read the user agreements, because the vast majority of people don't, and to catch stuff like this.
So it's there in the user agreement. So if they actually do brick a console and they go to court over it, they'll say, well, you press the button.
Yeah, I'm curious what's going to happen, because people sell Nintendo cartridges, like at the swap meet like we used to with floppy disks. And so I'm curious to see if that's going to if that goes away, or if it's going to immediately brick some things where they're like, hey,
I think it's too big of a hot button issue. And if if Nintendo does it and bricks a new Nintendo Switch 2,
We riot.
the PR nightmare would be a
riot.
disaster.
well, they would just say that, well, you were trying to pirate games.
I know, but the PR disaster would still be a nightmare for them. So I think it's in there, but they're not going to do it for Nintendo Switch 2. They might do it for Switch. Does it mean Switch?
This is the new user agreement for all Nintendo
For
stuff.
all Nintendo stuff. So, yeah, maybe the older consoles, see if they can get away with it, see how much stink is created from it. But it's there, and it's there for a reason. It's allowing Nintendo to exercise that right whenever they want to.
Yeah, so that means no hardware modding, no extracting ROMs, something that Nintendo says you can't do, though many lawyers in the field say that it's a legally protected consumer right, and no dual booting to another OS. So you can't do any fun stuff with it.
But to be fair, if you are a
fair.
pirater and you already have moral objections to Nintendo's, fuckery, you're probably not buying the actual console. You're probably having it emulated on a different device.
Steam Deck or something like that.
So it's not going to affect you. But I think it's hilarious that people that are, doing this and then Nintendo claps down on their fans. They're like, you son of a bitch, I'm gonna fuck you up. I'm gonna fuck you up in a minute. And they're beating up on their own users.
Terrible idea.
Yeah. We'll see if they ever do anything with this, like you said. But I mean, honestly, the people who defend Nintendo that have already typed 400 comments,
They'll defend it.
They'll defend it. They'll be like, "Hey,
Just don't do it.
Yeah, don't break the law. If you do
It's
want
that
to,
simple.
Your $500 console is not your $500 console. It's Nintendo's console. You are agreeing to a lease agreement.
we'll buy it together, but keep it in my house."
Enter. Right. That's what it is. That's what Nintendo's literally doing. When you're talking with your friend, you're like, hey, let's split the money. Okay. Well, you pay half, I pay half, but we'll keep it at my house. Somebody's house. You gotta keep it in somebody's house.
I almost had a friendship end because we split Final Fantasy VII. Like
that was dumb.
And so, we were playing it together,
dumb move.
and he stayed home from school and didn't tell me, and he played all day.
Oh my
and
God.
then I took the fucking game and was like, "Fuck!" Well, of course, fuck.
What,
you.
Alex? But that's totally legit. He's allowed to stay home and play
We
the
were playing
game.
together. That we've split.
Yep.
Oh, you say you can't advance because I need
Yeah,
to see the
that's
story.
fucked up.
Why would you go on and now I don't know what the story is?
Yep.
And now I have to play the whole thing over to get to that fucking. Okay, I get it now.
Yeah,
I don't get it now.
we finished the game.
Me and Joe have had something similar. Our copies of All Pro 2K8. There's 7 copies of All Pro
Sam
2K8 at Sam
Jones.
Jones'
Yeah,
house.
yeah.
I'm like, he kept borrowing. Do you have All Pro 2K8?
was
Can
like,
I
"Let me
borrow it?
yours."
Sure.
Like, Sam
yeah.
has it. We're like, Sam has mine.
That's the
Sam
same. And we called Devin. Devin is copies of Sam's house. I still will never get over that. You go to Sam's house, you open this
Tricky
container.
bastard.
That's sure enough, there's 3 or 4 copies.
I don't know why.
It was the wildest thing I've ever seen. I guess did he forget that he had?
Did you ever have a big pile of CDs
He
though, where
lost
you're like,
it.
you put like a CD down, you put
Yeah.
another
And
CD,
he
like,
didn't know
upside
where
down
it
on top
was.
of it, and it's like,
And then he
It
borrowed.
happens.
And then maybe it just became a thing.
There's also more in the ULA that people are pointing out. There's a change in the wording for minors that places responsibility on their legal guardian. And so this is like, remember when Joy-Cons were giant pieces of shit, Nintendo knew that they were pieces of shit and didn't do anything about it and made you pay all this money to get it fixed. And so these are ensuring those cases are forced into arbitration now, which is not what you want when you're having to battle someone like Nintendo. And so Nintendo also says that you do not own your games and you're only licensing them, and they're putting that in there.
Yeah.
It's like,
There you go.
again, you're paying
Right.
for it, and I'm only letting you use it for whatever period of time because
Yeah.
Nintendo likes to sell you their games that they put out 15 years ago for full price.
Yeah.
And the danger with something like that is those games can, if they have stuff that it involves online, they could just say, we don't want to host these things anymore. You can't play them. And so...
They need to just change their little websites. Like, oh yeah, the Switch 2 lease now. Breath of Wild is
Yeah.
coming out. Lease now.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of like an even more or like a worse term for it, but I mean that's what it is, right? It's just like I'll let you use it until I don't want to let you use it anymore, and you have to give me another $80.
Costing us money, then no.
Yeah. So
Book.
yeah, not great.
Another reason why to hold off.
Yeah, I don't know. Nintendo does what Nintendo stuff, and
Sucks. I want to like them. I do.
there's they put out games that I love, and like some of the most important
No,
franchises
I
of all
don't.
time.
I don't even want to like them. Fuck Nintendo Japan.
Yeah,
I've had
but
direct
they have some good
relations with
games.
them. I know how they act. I know how they perform. I know what they think they are. It's Nintendo America that I like and want to like because there have been employees there and people in charge. It's like, Joe, we understand. We ourselves have talked. I'm not supposed to talk about any of this, so I'm not using any specifics. But it's
Bill.
a different culture there. It's a They follow different policies. They have their own, and they're entitled to. That's where Nintendo started. If they want to do this, then Nintendo America has to lockstep go with it. So that's it.
Yep.
Yep.
Oh well.
Just unfortunate. All right, that's what I got for this one.
Okay. Well then, yeah.
WB.
What?
WB.
Oh yes, WB guys. So recently, some of the CEOs have thrown Justice League kills. Suicide Squad kills the Justice League. They threw it under the bus yet again in an earnings call, and they blamed it solely for Warner Brothers' woes and for closing Monolith. And this
They
is
blame
like
the game and not the
blame
one who said,
somebody else.
"This is what
The
we're gonna do. This is my
CEOs
vision."
who are the ones that say you make this, Though, to be fair, I think, Rocksteady did want
The
to
head of
try to
Rocksteady did,
explore,
yeah.
want something different. So maybe there is some controversy here. Maybe some of the suits at Warner Brothers were like, well, we don't know. We want another single-player Batman because we know it's going to work. And Rocksteady was like, yeah, but we want to do, something different, multiplayer. And they're like, okay, if you want to do multiplayer, fine. Live service. So now when the shit fucking loses $400 billion or $200 billion,
200 million, yeah.
then they're like, it was your fault because you made it live service. And
But
they were
you
like, it was
said-
your fault because you wanted to do multiplayer. We only said do this, so there's a lot of that going on. But yeah, they had to close Monolith, if y'all remember. Player First Games, which did multiverses, and WB San Diego, which then cascaded effect because that game was so bad. The Wonder Woman game was canceled.
I'm glad the Wonder Woman game got canceled because everything we've heard about it sounded fucking awful.
Okay,
But
well,
friendship.
if it was fucking awful, then we're glad
And if your
that it was
track
awful.
record is like shit, it's like
One good.
One good? Hogwarts.
Yeah.
Hogwarts Legacy.
Yeah, but they've been working on that for 7, 8
It was a
years. That
different
was
studio.
from like forever ago. Yeah.
Yeah. So they tried to deflect. They said, hey, but our tentpole franchises have each generated over $1 billion. They're talking about Harry Potter and that. So, and this is WB, not WB Games.
So they don't consider DC part of the tent pole.
No, that's what they include that in there as well.
Okay.
Those are doing well. So, and Hogwarts Legacy sold gangbusters. How many copies do you think Hogwarts Legacy sold?
We know it was over $1 billion.
We know that, Expedition 33 is super happy because they sold 2 million. Joe, how many million did Hogwarts sell?
15.
Nope.
20.
Close. 22 million
Damn.
copies. God damn, boy. Yeah, so in the report, they said, don't look at this. Don't. It was all that one's fault. It was just Suicide Squad kills the Justice League. God, what idiots would have done that? We have all these great franchises. Yeah, don't worry. It's like, it was you! It was you!
Nuh-uh. Someone else made the Batgirl movie that disappeared into the furnace.
It was you!
Yeah, it's like someone said to do these
I
things.
wanted to watch that.
No.
See how bad it was.
No.
So they throw under the bus their own fuck up. Okay. Well, that's pretty much it.
I would
It was
expect
pretty
that,
easy
though.
because they were already in the
Yeah.
gutter, and so it's just like to
Might
throw
as
someone on the
well.
bus is just like a little nudge under the bus.
Yeah,
It's
since
like,
the studio's
you're already
closed.
a piece of shit.
Yeah, they were pieces of shit. They all sucked over there, and they were the cause of all of our financial woes. We shut them down, so don't worry. It'll be good going forward. It was your fault. What? You're fired. All right. Well, we got more. We got more ridiculous stories in part 2, so stay tuned for that, guys.
Make sure you check out Rocket Money.
Yep.
It is a free app that will get you on top of your finances and let you know when. Do you get notifications when your sister's subscriptions go up? Do you have her on there? Because OJ doesn't have his own subscription.
No,
I said
she
my
pays
Amazon
for
went
it.
up.
It would be on
You have
her
one-
app, not his app.
Oh, so she knows when all
she
your
knows
subscriptions go up.
when his subscriptions are going up.
Save
All right,
money.
guys. We'll see you on the next one. Bye.